Peace, family. This Brother Rich, Underground Railroad Productions. We out here in Harlem with the Red Pill. I'm gonna start out like this, Red Pill. When I was a youngin', one of the first speakers that I was introduced to, who taught me knowledge of self, taught me to be proud of being black, the brother that goes by the name of Farrakhan. And he got an anniversary coming up, 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. When he had it 20 years, I'm 33. When he had it 20 years ago, I was 13. I couldn't make it. I'm gonna make this one. I guess to start out with, I wanna promote it. I just talked to the brother Philip Muhammad. I look forward to doing a show with that brother. Shout outs to the brother Philip Muhammad. But I wanna promote this. I want as many people as possible to know about it. You know, you ain't gotta go, but I want you to know about it. You make the decision on yourself, but don't say you didn't know about it. Brother Red Pill, tell me the importance of this. Is there any other man in America that could do what Farrakhan is about to do in 2015 in October 10th?
Honestly, I thought about that question that you just posed on a few occasions, when I was debating myself about the whole significance of Farrakhan and whether I was going to attend and lend my support to the brothers' movement or not. And I came up with the answer that no, I don't know any one person who could galvanize the hip-hop community, the Christian community, the conscious community, as well as the unconscious community to meet on that lawn in October. No, I don't. The only not if somebody would try to say, well, maybe Obama could do it, and I would say, God damn it, no, he wouldn't, and I wouldn't go to no fucking march that he's put together or gathering or anything, because he has not shown, proven, or even hinted towards, a plan. He hasn't shown or proven or hinted towards his love for his people. He ain't did nothing for you in 8 years. And if you do say that he's done something for you, and I'm not being judgmental at the end of the day, but you an easy person to please. You must be in one of those relationships where it don't take much to put a smile on your face, because he hasn't lived up to anything that he promised. Hold on. One of my first teachers, like you said, was that brother Louis Farrakhan. The energy and the message that resonated from that man in the mid to late 80s was very profound. I don't want to be all egotistical and pop my collar, because I got knowledge of self decades later from many other teachers. And now, the teachings that he shared with us have been somewhat watered down because we got that raw. You know what I'm saying? No, when he was very impactful in the era that really needed him. You know what I'm saying? When I heard Public Enemy say his name for the first time on one of those tracks, and I knew about him prior to that, I was hyped. I was geeked. I remember the day, what I was wearing at that time, where I was standing in Harlem in my mother's kitchen when I heard the Public Enemy track. That's how profound it was to me. And they said, Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you better listen to. And, I've been on that path ever since. Now, we've all gone through different schools of thought and knowledge. That's a telltale sign that your ass is on the path. You know what I mean? You ain't stuck in one place. So I still give credit to the foundation. So, yeah.
The fact that Farrakhan, he's the head of the Nation of Islam. You're not in the Nation of Islam. Do you think that discourages people, or do you think that's a discouraging factor, just period, for you or anybody not to attend or not to listen to what this man has to say? Because, religion has been very divisive. So a person of knowledge of self might say, oh, if he was so smart, why is he in the Nation of Islam? Why he should know better? I went to google.com and I researched this and researched that. The fact that he's, coming with the Nation of Islam, what impact do you think that has on it?
Well, I'm in the conscious network. I don't say conscious community, because conscious community is a concept You know, you really should have a physical community before you start calling yourself a part of a community. So I belong to the conscious network that has the potential to be a part, to be a community in this day and age while I'm still alive. So as a member of the conscious network, the NOI, the FOI, the MGT are part of that network. Facts. That shit is not a mystery. It's not non-debatable. I have an associate with our association with multiple members of the Nation of Islam. Those brothers have been instrumental in my growth and development. One of my contemporaries, our brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Philip A. Muhammad, and all of the other luminaries that come out of the Nation of Islam. I salute those brothers. I'm front line with those brothers. Whatever those brothers are about, what it is that they're doing for the people, I'm there with those brothers. Mosque number 7, brother Kevin Muhammad, brother Hafiz. You know, those are comrades. So I don't involve politics when it comes to the nation, when it comes to the gathering, when it comes to the collective and coming together. I won't cut my nose off to spite my face. Nobody for the Nation of Islam have harmed me personally for me to act all bougie and stuff like that. So no.
What did you think about the interview Farrakhan did at the Breakfast Club? People loved it. What do you think about it?
Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you should have listened to. He did a great job on 101. You know, it's like Hidden Colors. You know what I'm saying? It does its job. It does what it's a primer. It brings people into the light. It brings people into knowledge, and it allows those of us that are on the ground, on the front lines, doing the work, active 24/7, to basically carry on and further that information. So he did a great primer. He showed his professionalism. He showed that he was diversified in his teachings. He didn't get up there with the dogmatic teachings. He didn't get up there and make people feel bad about, where they was in their level of consciousness. You know, he laid it out for everybody. He laid it out on a one-on-one basis. And the Breakfast Club has an audience that needs to hear information like that. I was reading the comments on World Star. I was reading the comments on the Breakfast Club website. There's people who never heard that information. And there's people who were victims of propaganda from the Jewish controlled media and other places that were basically trying to tell them what to think and how to feel about Louis Farrakhan. The same thing when I was a youth. You know, teachers in school would try to talk bad against. They would try to shit on his name and try to tell us that he was a hate monger and he hated people, not knowing that they was only saying that because he was shedding the light and he was bringing the truth about they wicked asses. So he did a good job. When going back to what you said before, I don't know too many leaders, or I don't know too many prominent people in the community who could have did that for the audience in the Breakfast Club. The Knuckle Draggers need it too, right? They need light too. You know what I'm saying? So he bust his gun and he got people hyped to come out in October.
What does it say to you about the longevity of Farrakhan? Because like even like in Jay's song, "Where's the Love?" He's like, Jigga held it down 6 summers. Damn, where's the love? Like, this man has been putting it down since I was like 5, before I was born. The brother is 82 years old, I think. He's 82?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Because sometimes we get black leaders and they don't last long. Either they come in enthusiastic and their fire dwindles out, or, some of them are assassinated. Some of them might get locked up. This brother, for the length of time he's been holding it down, what does that say about this brother to still be doing what he do and to have the biggest impact in black America at the age of 82? What does that say to you?
I mean, and granted, he looks good for 82, surviving what he survived. I believe he had that sickness and things of that nature. I'm a person who has been in this movement, for 10 years straight. Non-stop, no slowing down, no breaks. I ain't take no summers off. I've been going hard with this shit for a decade, and I know the level of stress, and I know the level of commitment, And I know the level of sacrifice that it takes to be on this path and on this mission and to go against the grain, because the grain is all things Roman. The grain is all things niggardly. The grain is all things lower nature. The grain is all things, you know, going against what it is that our great ancestors have left behind. That's the grain. The grain is being, you know, worse than your oppressor and behaviors and mentalities and things of that nature. So to go against that and to carve your path, and there's really no rule book on how to do it, you know what I'm saying? And ain't too many examples around you on how to do it. You a bad motherfucker. Pardon my Moorish Latin. So what he has done by staying relevant, by, you know, being able to lead his organization of, you know, able-bodied men and women, you know what I'm saying? Of course there's been controversy. Of course there's been naysayers. Of course there's been detractors. You know, he ain't had too many big scandals though, huh? You know, no career-ending scandals for that matter. Of course there's been Scientology exposés and all of that stuff. I'm not debating that or refuting that, but what I'm saying is, you know, the brother has been able to stay relevant. He's been able to keep the message going. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to him. I still hear a lot of that vigor that I heard 30 years ago, and you can't, at the end of the day, hold somebody to be, yo, I don't hear the fire that he had when he, nigga, I want to hear your fire when you 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear your fire at 50, and then we gonna line you up with how you sounded at 20. You know, some people do lose some of that passion and that fire, and that shit, you turn into wisdom. He's in his 4th stage, his 4th level. You go into your 3rd level of mastery at 40, but then you go into that next level from 60 onwards. Give him some fucking credit, goddamn, like, you know.
I think that because you know, we live in 2015, we forget this is like a whole different world from 1995. Totally different from 1995.
It is.
Do you think that because of Google and because of the internet and because information is so accessible that teachers aren't appreciated no more? Because teaching is something that's a great deed to do down here. It's something magnificent. And it's like, I don't see teachers being appreciated that much. So I just wanted to get your take on this new generation where they may not look at a teacher the same as we did because they could get all the information in 5 minutes and Google. What's your take on that?
I love that question. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I often have said that you always have these detractors or these naysayers that have something to say about the quote-unquote conscious community. I be like, nigga, you don't got a problem with the conscious community. You got a problem with social media, okay? There's a difference. You got a big-ass problem with social media, because when the people who you think are problems come together in one room, it's hugs and it's love. The shit be like Woodstock, you know what I mean? It's so much love in the air. Like, it's almost like free love, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, get them a fucking room or something. Like, it's none of that stuff that you see on social media. We would have to do a whole video about the psychology that goes behind social media and how you Negroes have become so disenfranchised with yourselves, you know? But I had an adoration and a respect and a complete admiration for my teachers when I was a student, before the advent or the rise of social media, post 03. Like, remember when you went to go see The Matrix the first time in the movie? There wasn't no Web 2.0 back then. You know what I mean? The Web 1.0 was not social media. When the Web 2.0 came about, that brought about social media. You interacted with the web in a whole different way that you interacted with it before. Now we in the era of Web 3.0. Peace, Lord, all right? No doubt. So that shit is going to be in your home, the internet of all things and all of that. But I think that the level of disrespect, I remember the first time that I saw one of the teachers get questioned. There was a video that Chief Liberation put out where he went at Isaiah the Duke of Tears over something that he did with the Hancock breakdown. And that shit was ground. When he did that video, it was like a catalyst. It was something that was unheard of in the community up until that point. And then after that, SETI came in. And as we all know, the rest was history. You know, the antagonist versus the protagonist and all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Where people are being, challenged and questioned and, and all of these other things were taking place. And that was a new thing because of social media. You feel what I'm saying? Social media. You never had that at lectures, and you never had that in open forums and things of that nature. Of course, you had ciphers and brothers were going at it, but it was just different. So fast forward to today, yeah, man, if you read the comment sections, if you on social media, on Facebook and the trolls, the level of respect that they give towards their teachers is none. It's null. It's fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? It's like, it's sad, at the end of the day, because it could be discouraging because it's not coming from a point of, critique, where it's like healthy critique or constructive criticism, you know what I mean? Or like, yo, brother, I agree with what you said, but I want to, I want to respectfully disagree. People are talking about people's daughters. I've read comments about Polite and his wives and his children. I read comments about, people's skin tone. You know what I'm saying? I read personal shit where people was dishing out stuff behind what people were doing behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, I read a whole bunch of stuff that's just demonic in its nature to people who put themselves out on the front line to help their people who, at the end of the day, are not perfect themselves. You don't see no angel wings behind me and whatnot. I never came and said that I was this perfect being. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that you have to be perfect in order to be a teacher. You're a college professor. You're a grade school teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person that you went into debt paying all of this money to learn his lessons, he could be a fucking serial murderer at the end of the day. He could be a pedophile for all you don't know, but you don't even give a fuck. You don't care. You won't go and research them. And even if the information comes out that he was a piece of shit, you would never throw the information out. You won't throw your degree away. Huh? You won't negate your degree. You will understand, yo, that was just my teacher. So at the end of the day, because of the cult of personality worship, because these people coming out of these religions and they secretly still want to worship somebody, they still want somebody that they could worship. You know what I mean? When they find out that that person doesn't put their pants on with the same leg that you put your pants on, you willing to put them on a fucking cross. You know what I mean? And that just speaks to the insanity and the core issues that nobody is addressing within themselves. This movement or this community or this network was formed first and foremost under the pretense of what? It was taking place when we were down with the priesthood in Kemet. It said, man, know thyself. That means take the information, apply it, and change you. Transform you, change yourself with the information that you find. But your journey or your mission is different than mine. So if you come into yourself, into your higher self, or if you come from your caterpillar stage and want to even pursue your butterfly phase, because some people can't even handle that shit. They just be caterpillars their whole life. But if you decided in this, when you reincarnated for the 500th time, that yeah, I'm going to go for my wings, you go into your cocoon phase and you on your travels to get this information and to transform. You're supposed to take the information that's readily available to you by these teachers. You're not supposed to dick ride or worship teachers. You're not supposed to want to be these teachers. You're not supposed to walk and talk and try to be like another man or woman. Now you worshiping. Now you treating people like you was treating your pastor. You got the Martin Luther King voice and all of that stuff. You want to try to be like him. That's not what this is about. This ain't about mimicking, parakeeting, you know what I mean, worshiping, putting up altars to people. It's not what this is about. So for people to have all of this stuff to say, what did he do personally to you? Huh? Did he take something from you? Did he shed blood and did he shed your blood? Did he break your skin? You feel what I'm saying? Did he fornicate with your wife? Did he commit any of the carnal sins that would put a nigga under the sword to you personally? So what's the problem? You speculating at the end of the day. You just hating.
Ain't no hating. All right. How do you think all the recent events that's been happening lately, man? The most recent, the Charleston church shooting, the whole Confederate flag debate, you know, the Trayvon, just the last 2 years, it's just been one incident after another. If you're watching mainstream news and you're, you know, looking at it from that aspect, how do you think that's going to impact what Farrakhan is trying to do in the march?
It's going to strengthen it. Bottom line, it's going to strengthen it. Farrakhan is going to be able to resonate with more people because of the bullshit that's taking place in society. The people are fed up. Huh? If you don't want to live in a society or community where, you know, Babylon is implementing Greco-Roman mentalities, value systems amongst your people. If you don't want to live in a society with policy enforcement, mercenaries that they call police officers are brutalizing your people and basically, you know, lynching your people in a modern day construct. If you don't want to live in a society that you are being financially attacked, economically priced out, economically they're putting economic burdens on you that can make your fucking heart stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the biggest killers of our people is heart disease and people's heart popping. That comes from stress, family. You live in a gentrified neighborhood like New York, a gentrified state that's under economic suppression. People's hearts are stopping. Go to Harlem Hospital and get the numbers. You know what I mean? Trying to pay your goddamn rent and your light bill at the same damn time and your T-Mobile. So, with all of the crazy shit that's happening, like I said, big up to the master teachers, Louis Farrakhan, master teachers, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, and all of the other ones that came along. Did they not prepare you for today? What the fuck? Why was you watching all of those videos for 30 years? What were you doing? What were you preparing for? Were you mentally masturbating? Was you just playing with information, trying to be deep and whatnot? Or are you taking these messengers or these prophets and the information that they laid out 10 and 20 years ago to make you conscious, which is aware, so when the shit happens, you are not surprised, you are not taken out of they not knocking you off of your rocker, and you understand what the fuck is going on. So yeah, the stuff that's taking place is preparing society, or the contingency that are amongst us, if you want to say the 144,000, the 5%, whatever you want to subscribe to, they are letting you know that the time is up. They said there was a powerful lecture called Come Out of Her from the Nation of Islam. Dr. York came out of her. He went and built his own land in Eatonton, Georgia. He erected his own pyramids. He went ahead and got acreage, and he created a place to live for his own people who were vibrating on a frequency that was relatable to what he was talking and teaching. So hell to the motherfucking yeah. I support everything that brother Farrakhan is saying, because when I go to that rally, October 15th, 2015 rally, I know beyond a reasonable doubt that I'm going to be amongst my A-alikes who be alike, who see alike. And the conversations that we are going to have is going to impact me for the remaining of my life. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to be able to network and connect with like-minded individuals so we don't have to just talk anymore. Like I said, I love social media for the fact that your network is your net worth, and we able to connect with people on a global scale, and we able to link up, and people send us emails and all of that stuff. But there's nothing, nada, that beats face-to-face, one-on-one, personal, meeting a person, looking them in their eyes, seeing the intensity and the energy and the frequency that they possess, and saying to myself, you know what? It's time to make this shit go. You feel me? So that's what I look forward to. So, yeah. Let Babylon keep falling. Let the devil keep showing their fangs. Let this shit do what it's supposed to do, because it's time to do what we supposed to do. So he's on time.
The hip-hop community's just positive response to this march, how do you think that's going to impact the youth? Because, you know, I've recently seen pictures with Rick Ross taken with Farrakhan, even Young Thug. And there was some controversy with that, so I guess that'll be the next question. But what's your, just overall take on the hip-hop community supporting the brother Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Once again, going back to what I said, like, we got consciousness in the 80s, family. If you got consciousness watching Hidden Colors, you know, I'm not judging you or nothing, but you're kind of late to the party. This is an ongoing trend. This is something that was prevalent. This was part of our diet since the 80s. You know, the lessons, the information, people dropping knowledge, giving you a balanced opinion, not just taking mainstream media or what the church was feeding you, or what, you know, or what people who were ignorant to you know, what the hell was going on around them and stuff like that. Like before we was watching, before we read Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper and David Icke, before niggas got caught up in that, we was on that Farrakhan, but we was also students of the 80s hip-hop era. Grand Poobah just pulled up earlier. So Grand Poobah, everybody in the golden era of hip-hop was a student of either Father Allah, Louis Farrakhan, or Dr. York. That's how you got the golden era of hip-hop, okay? That's how the golden era of hip-hop was created. Rakim Allah, Brand Nubians, Public Enemy, Lakim Shabazz, Poor Righteous Teachers. I mean, I could go on. Boogie Down Productions. Like, I could go on for days. Nas, Nasir Jones, Jay-Z, B, when he came up under jazz, when they was in the goddamn Nubians or the Ansar Allah community. Like, the foundation of hip-hop is consciousness. It's street conscious, but it's it's Islam. It's Islam. Any one of you Negroes want to jump up and get smacked down, say something. Try to debate that. When niggas start putting crosses on in the Puffy and the Bad Boy era, that shit nosedive. Huh? Pac brought the cross in. You know, God bless that brother's soul. He probably did not know what he was doing. But niggas ran with that shit in the Puffy era in the 90s and whatnot. When the crosses came in, the Jesus pieces and all of that. Before, when it was Islamic with the 7, when niggas was on a 7, before they went to the 6 star, before they went to the 6-pointed star, and when they was on that 7, the shit was moving with a God energy, man. It was a God consciousness inside of hip hop, and it was our first teacher. It taught us the lessons, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was on one. So, with that being said, fast forward to today, what the fuck? Hip-hop don't got no choice but to run behind or run with the minister or give it up for the minister and whatnot and be there or be square. You feel what I'm saying? They you know what I mean? They gotta pay homage at the end of the day, because we all have our first teachers. Don't fall victim, or don't be retarded and think that anybody that's over 30 was not getting the lessons from the master teachers at the point where they was doing it, especially if they coming out of New York. So Puffy and all of them niggas know what time it is. Jay-Z and them know what time it is. All of them. We was all learning from the same teachers. We was all part of the same student body back in the days. So that's all I gotta say. And if Young Thug want to get some fucking knowledge, then let Young Thug come and get the knowledge. There's many Young Thugs in the community. You niggas was Young Thugging it before you got Hidden Color DVD and all of that stuff. And you decided to take off the leggings and, you know what I mean, the finger paint knowledge. Shout out to Charles Hamilton. He took the finger paint knowledge. He took the finger paint off. He's trying to get his shit together. So, you know, when you get exposed to the truth, you can't deny it. We gotta work with our people step by step. We not here to judge each other. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a path that they gotta walk. So why not?
All right, Red. So I guess to wrap it up with the last question, Red, what do you hope to achieve when we go down there? Because I'm going down there, you going down there, everybody we know going down there. What are you looking forward to gaining? A new perspective, new ideas, unity, contacts with brothers from sisters all over the country. What are you looking to gain from going down there on 10-10-15, brother?
To be honest, brother Rich, I'm not looking for anything. You know, I'm not going in there with any expectations, only because every time that I go to events and things of that nature, I just go with the spirit of the ancestors and I know that it's going to be a positive experience, one that I'm going to walk away from, you know, more enriched and more enlightened than I did before I walked into that thing. So I just look forward to being there, brother. You know, I have a lot of plans and I got a lot of things that I want to implement, you know, solution-wise and things of that nature. And, you know, I need assistance. I need brothers and sisters who are willing to put it out there, you know, not put it all on the line like you putting your life on the line, because that's some bullshit at the end of the day. Like, live your life, you know what I mean? Be there for your family. That's revolutionary in my books. You know what I'm saying? Get your money, build your businesses, and leave your legacy and whatnot. That's revolutionary. All of that fake, we got to put our lives on it. Nigga, what? I'm not with all of that. Like, that's not even a conversation that I'm trying to have at the end of the day, because, you know, that's fruitless and it holds no merit, because, you know, if it was really that real, dudes would be putting in work on a daily basis. We would wake up to all kind of shit on our feed. And that's not what's happening. So when I listen to what the people want, when I take a temperature of the community, they want to build, they want to win, they want to succeed. They want to remove themselves from this cancer, from this toxic environment. They want land. You know what I mean? They want food, clothing, and shelter. So, with that being said, of course, I'm going to have my ear to the ground at that event. I'm going to be promoting what it is that we do. I'm going to be promoting what it is that the family is doing, because it's about a collaboration, a collaborative effect. I'm not just representing myself. I'm representing my community. I'm representing my network. I'm representing my people. I'm representing my ancestors. So I'm just going to be there repping. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm a rep. If you see me, you know what I mean, salute. I'm going to salute you. We exchange. We build. Let's move together. You know what I mean? I might shoot a video out there, some music or something. I'm going to take advantage of the situation. You know, we could even do a short film like Spike did, Get on the Bus. We could do a documentary. Whatever it is, let's be creative with it. But I just look forward to meeting a lot of beautiful, powerful, intellectual people on a high frequency. That's really what I look forward to. But I'm not going in there with expectations, because I did that at the first march. I'm going to keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? I did that at the first march. And when I didn't hear what I wanted to hear, that shit, you know, that it did something to me. It left me a little disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going in there with that this time. I'm going to just go in there knowing that the people that are going to be there is going to be worth something that you can never really get at any event around this time. So really, that's what it is. That's just my opinion, family. I'm not saying that to make that your opinion. If you have expectations, if there's things that you look forward to on October 10th, well, goddamn it, that's on you. That's what you do, and I support that. You know what I'm saying? He asked me a question. I'm just sharing an honest opinion without trying to be, you know, without trying to be down and sound cool and all of that stuff. I just want to be honest. So with that being said, thank you, Brother Rich. You know, and thank you for the family that's listening and paying attention. Hopefully I don't waste anybody's time. KTL Empowerment at Gmail. KingsCountyBigCartel.com. KingsCounty.BigCartel.com. Thank you for your support in advance. Peace.